Hello everyone, and welcome to Woods Walks, the new show on the War and Conquest channel. Just as something to give you guys a little bit more insight into my way of thinking and my personality, if you didn't have enough of that in your weekly dose of War and Conquest. Gives me an excuse to wander around the woods and talk. Perhaps impart some folksy wisdom, hunting tips, general life advice or thoughts, or, whatever. I'm joined today with my co-host, Mindy. Say hello, Mindy. Mindy's old, but she enjoys the woods. So let's take a little saunter, shall we? This is the woods that I grew up in. Spent a lot of time out here as a kid, wandering around, running through the streams and the dells and the mosquito swamps. Ooh, spider web. Ooh, we caught one for once. All right. Come on, out of the way. All right, so his main web's over there. That's a little one. Just a little guy. Just a little guy. This is where I spent a good chunk of my childhood, right out in here. I noticed that my my bridge is missing. And where it went, I had some logs that went over the ditch, over in there and over in there. I guess when last flood came up through here, knocked a lot of that down. Oh, there's a log over there. Used to have cinder blocks on them. I don't know why those were missing. That's what kept them from floating away. But no matter. Yeah, I used to stand out here. Actually, right about here. I'd stand on my log and I'd shoot. This is my air rifle range. You can still see the cinder blocks there because they don't float away. And I would shoot things like bottles, dip cans, whatever I felt like, help improve accuracy. Now, I really wonder if that is my log. Let's go check it out. Oh, that's something in my hair. Not entirely sure what it is. Probably a spider. Oh, there's another spider web. Jeez, looks like arachnid city in here today. Yep, this looks like it. Actually, you know what? That color's too light. That's not my log. Alright, let's go on the hunt for my log. Well, technically speaking, it's a railroad tie, but, details. Let's see if we can... There's another one over there. I don't know if that's mine or not. Or the one I was using. Oh, there's another spider web. Yep, these look like it right here. That was my eye. Jeez. Oh, we're having some trouble here, folks. We are having some trouble here. Wish I could get some sunlight in here so I could see these spider webs. Yeah, I believe these are my logs here. What do you think, Mindy? Mindy doesn't think, she just does. Isn't that right, Mindy? Yeah. Come here. Come here. Oh, yes. Oh, hello. Yes, hello. I'm cooped up in the house all day. Cooped up in the house all day. Alright, I guess that's enough affection. You got your 5 seconds of affection. It was enough. If only all the people in my life were that easy to please. And here we are, downrange of the Eckert Air Rifle Gallery. Spent a lot of time shooting these cinder blocks, trying to break them. Obviously, it didn't work. That's what happens when you shoot a 177 pellet at it. Is it 177 or 117? I think it's 177. I don't know. It's irrelevant. That's the neighbor's house over there. It's Marty. Everybody say hi, Marty. I'm trying to remember his girlfriend's name right now, and it's escaping me. Nope, I can't remember. They're good people. This is actually, technically speaking, his land. He owns a lot of this area in here. I paused there for a second because I couldn't remember if I told this story already, but I was remembering that was when I was talking to Dr. Baxter. We went on a walk the other day. So yeah, all this woods in here to the creek, all the way back down around through there, used to be owned by the person who owned that house. They actually owned my house and the one next to it. They subdivided it up. And they moved back there. And most of the property that you see now is actually owned by them. But their driveway actually goes through our land. So we just sort of came to an agreement that we don't make you move the driveway. If we can store our stuff in your yard, we can be friends. And it's worked out for the past 3 owners. So yeah, our property line is really, really weird. It goes in like, it's like a rectangle that goes sideways and then cuts off on an angle. Yeah, I don't know who the hell did the subdivision, but did a terrible job of it. But yeah, this is how life has been in the Eckert household for, it's been now, because I moved in when I was 2. So yeah, it's been 23 years. We've been out here in New Lisbon, New Jersey, Pemberton Township. Interesting fact, these ferns that you've been seeing me step on are actually supposedly really, really rare. These are New Lisbon ferns. I don't know the official name for them, but supposedly they only grow in this area of the world. That's why they're called New Lisbon ferns. Because there's a guy down the road owned property. He wanted to build a few houses there. Pinelands Commission came in and shut him down. This is technically, can't talk today. This is technically speaking wetlands in the pinelands. So you have to get wetlands approval, and then you need to go to pinelands. You need to get pinelands credits to build, and the state holds on to them like it's a balls. So guy got pinelands credits, or he's trying to get pinelands credits. He had the wetlands credits, needed pinelands credit. That's what it was. And they came in like, yeah, you can't do that because of the fern. Supposedly really endangered. So yeah, I used to run out here with a stick and knock these down all the time, and apparently I was a felon, an environmental terrorist from an early age. It actually looks like something's been eating them. Or they're just dying at the end of the year. They all look like they've been snipped at the top by something. Maybe the deer have been getting into them. Alright, so I still have something in my eye right now, and I do not know what it is. It's probably a spider. It's probably building a web in there. Alright, so I think let's go down to the creek. I think it's time for a creek visit. Want to go to the creek, Mindy? Forgot, that way is closed still. I used to have paths down here, but you know, I haven't been spending that much time. Oh, here's another spider web. That's a cool looking spider. It's like bluish green and gray and got an odd web. Oh, where'd he go? Alright, the spider vanished. It's probably getting ready to attack me. Alright, what's the best way to get down to the creek? Wanna go for a swim, Mindy? Jeez, you have mosquitoes all over you. They're not bothering me, which is odd. They're all over the dog. But they're not after me. Alright. I really do need to find my single point sling. I'm really upset that I can't find that. The deer made a little trail in here. Get out of the way, go through the Greenbrier, and here we are. Man, the last flood really did a number down here. See, initially, the first video I was going to make for the series was actually a kayaking video. I was going to kayak down the creek while talking, but there was so much debris in the creek I couldn't get out here. Right here is the area where I put a stick through my foot when I was in high school. I used to swim from the bridge down to about here. Went in there and cleared all the debris out, all the old chairs and stuff and branches. And I used to jump off right here. Usually the water level's right up to where that stake is sticking out of the ground. And I short jumped, landed in the bank there, and there was a tree root sticking out of the ground. I landed on it, put it through my foot. Didn't go all the way through, but it was in there pretty good. And so I had to limp from here all the way back to the house, in my bare feet, getting sticks and debris and caterpillars and all other kinds of shit in there. And I had to go to the hospital and get, what was that, 4 stitches? Yeah, 4 stitches. The nurse told me, before they came in to irrigate the wound, she asked if I had ever had this procedure done before. I said no, and she said, oh. I said, I've had children, and this hurts worse. I was like, that's fantastic bedside manner. Fantastic. Way to get me pumped up for this procedure. And she wasn't wrong. I mean, I haven't had kids, but, you know, I assume she had some sort of metric to go on there. And it hurt, because they basically just jab a needle into your open cut and scrape all the stuff out of there. So, yeah. Wasn't a fun time. Wasn't the most painful experience of my life, though. That was probably, well, I don't know. It's hard to say, because the worst night of my life was the night I had H flu and sun poisoning. Those of you who don't know, H flu it's a bacterial disease that mimics flu symptoms. So it's basically like having the flu just without the virus. It's bacterial, so it can be treated with antibiotics, which is what they treated me on. What I didn't know was they gave me doxycycline, which makes me more susceptible to sunlight. And so I went out to even my farmer's tan, because my arms are beautifully golden, and then you lift them up and it's completely pale. So I was like, oh, I'll even out my tan here. Nice, beautiful Sunday morning. And 2 hours out in the sun, and I went in the house with 2nd and 3rd degree burns on my chest and lower body. So I hiked up my shorts too. So the inner thighs, my butt, my arms, my chest, all my upper body was burnt, except for my forearms and the bottom of my legs below the knee. And so I had sun poisoning that night, 2nd and 3rd degree burns, plus flu symptoms, all in the same night. So needless to say, it was a rough night. I think the worst pain I've ever had, though, was that one ear infection I had. Had a double ear infection. And it got so bad at one point that I considered several times taking my gun out from beside my bed and blowing my brains out. That's how painful it was. Felt like somebody was just putting 2 knives in both ears and just sort of scrambling everything around. So I think that was worse than the wound irrigation, but the nurse was right. It was pretty painful. Looks like the deer have been eating the nutrition block here. Or squirrels or raccoons or groundhogs. Something's been eating it. Turn it over. That did not accomplish anything. There we go. Give her a little flip. do you think, Mindy? You had enough for one day? Getting hot out here? All right, Mindy says we've had enough for one day. So until the next one.